Hey everybody, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us. This is Joe and Shelley with Join the Late Bloomers. We are so happy that you're here with us today. Today we're talking about, this is episode what? This is episode six. And today we're going to talk about the magic word.
Pivoting. We're going to talk about how to pivot, right?
Yes, that's what we're talking about, how to pivot.
Adjusting, making those adjustments that you need to take on the challenges you face. And you're going to face a ton.
Yes, you are.
We faced a ton.
Yes, we
And
did.
Sometimes we pivoted and sometimes we didn't. Sometimes we were like proactive, and many times we were just like, oh my gosh, we are in trouble.
Yeah, we're just hanging on.
We better fix this right away.
Yeah.
I want to start us off with a quote because I love quotes. And it's Albert Einstein, and he said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
It's good because how many of you out there have done that, done the same thing over and over again and thought, oh, this time it's going to be different.
Right? It's life, right?
Yep.
Diets.
Yep. Finances.
Joe. Relationships, boyfriends and girlfriends, husbands and
so
wives.
Good. Yep.
Mothers and daughters, fathers and sons, siblings.
Yep.
Neighbors, co-workers.
Uh-huh.
You can't do the same thing over and over and expect different results. So,
do you have a specific example you wanted to give about that?
I have a lot. You know, this is like we said before. This is one of those. We're one of these. You're gonna tell on me.
Yeah. So, do you want me to tell on you?
Okay, tell on me. Go ahead.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
He thinks, if I'm going to have ice cream today, it's not going to bother me. Oh, I can't hear that. It won't bother me, but like you're here.
So I have
I'll say here.
I have an allergy to dairy.
A slight allergy.
Slight allergy to dairy. I actually gave up dairy 10 years ago.
Yes, he did.
But, I mean, it worked out for good. I gave up dairy over 10 years ago. 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So because I was having major hay fever type allergies 9 to 10 months out of the year. Mm-hmm. Cut out the dairy, got the different results. I no longer have to take drugs, Allegra D, Claritin D. I'm good. No, but sometimes I have to go back to the dairy.
And then he thinks, oh, I'm going to keep having it, but
nothing will.
Like I'll keep eating it. I'll keep eating the ice cream and then I won't have any problems. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, quite recently I ate ice cream like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Tillamook, you get my thumbs up. Tillamook, going out, tried a new place, tried Handles, was loving it. And if you guys remember, about a month ago, we had some serious Santa Ana winds here in California.
Yep.
And I was toast.
And so we had to tell him, you cannot keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect those allergies to be gone.
Yeah, scratching my eyes, sneezing, face was about this big.
No, it wasn't. Anyway, that was just a little story to tell you can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results.
Right. And going back to 5 minutes ago, I was saying was we do that in business. And when we don't pivot, you know, it's either we're forced to pivot or we could be proactive. And I'm here to tell you, be proactive.
Be proactive. I agree. Be proactive.
Get ahead of it. Look, have some foresight, see the potential challenges that are coming up and be ready for them. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you just have to. And some things come unexpectedly for us, as I would trust many of you.
It forces you to.
Would have been the shutdown. So we lived in California, very restrictive shutdown restrictions. Mm-hmm. And we lost half of our income stream, which was weddings and events.
Weddings and events, yep. They're just starting to come back here. I don't know if you guys are all in California or what state that you're in, but it's just starting to pick back up a little bit here. And even then, it's not the same size-wise as far as events, and really no events have picked up. It's mainly weddings. I don't know what corporate offices are doing. I don't know if they're picking up their events or not, but that was a portion of our income too, was corporate events.
It was something that was really taking off. Building our corporate accounts,
Yeah, that too.
having big events like banquets and celebrations, and along with weddings, those disappeared within a few weeks.
Yeah,
of
so
the,
what happened is, if you don't mind me stepping in, is that okay with you?
Yeah.
What happened is when that happened, we're just going to give you a little bit of background. So we usually go to downtown LA every Wednesday to get our flowers. So when the shutdown happened, what it was March of last year, like March, probably the end of March or mid-March is when the flower mart decided they were going to close for 2 months. So I know this isn't necessarily your industry, but this is our industry. So when that happens, that's our supply, that's our source. So where else are we going to go? So we were thinking about what we could do at the time, because things looked really hopeless and bleak. So we thought, what can we do to bring some type of cheer and joy to people, and then to the industry? Because what happens is, when you shut things down like that, then the farmers and the growers, the agriculture part of it, they have to shut down too. And if there's no one to buy their products or their goods, then what are they going to do? So we ended up coming up with a, I think we talked about this already, just a small arrangement in a mason jar, something that we knew was going to be simple and quick to do.
Like this. Well, bigger,
than that one.
The quart size.
And so we ended up doing that and offering a buy one, get one. So when you purchase one, you also we would donate one to a healthcare worker or first responder of your choice, or hospital, for those people that were kind of on the front lines. So that's what really gave us hope to keep going, to like we're saying, pivot. So we went from doing that, and what are we going to do if we didn't have that income from the weddings and events? So what are we going to do? So we thought, well, what can we do to focus on really connecting with people? Because the only means they had at that time was really social media or Zoom or FaceTime or whatever, is to connect with other humans, because everybody was told to stay home and hide.
That's right. Our part required so many steps to this one big pivot.
Yep.
Our wholesalers, changing our wholesalers, and then realizing that because the imports were less accessible, going with the local growers, Shelley comes up with this arrangement in a mason jar, and then we say, hey, buy one, get one, and we'll make one. We'll donate one to the
first responder
of your choice. Yep.
Or someone in a hospital, nurses, people that were on the front lines that were really. It's really way back when we didn't know the seriousness of the virus. So
yeah,
it was when things were really looking hopeless. But go ahead.
Yes.
Sorry.
And so it brings me to the next step, which is, how could we tell everybody? We didn't have a strong online connection, so we started going live on video on Facebook and Instagram, and started talking about we call it the COVID Buster program, which is buy one and we'll donate one.
Yes.
And that really got us connecting with our
customers. Yeah, it did, and it not only I felt like it gave hope to people out there, because like we were saying earlier, your only connection at that point was by phone or by social media. You couldn't go anywhere. So what are we going to do? It looks like you can't do anything. It looks like really scary. So to reach out to people and have that human connection, that's what we chose to do, to try to really kind of rally ourselves together to make sure that we were going to be okay. It gave us hope too, and then it gave people that wanted to send flowers to their loved ones hope too. So, and we just wanted to be able to somehow help in some way also the industry, because the floral industry has suffered, and it still is suffering at this point. The flowers, just the crops couldn't be tended to, so now we are fast forward a year later, and we're still short certain flowers. So
yes.
Anyway, that's our little neck of the woods. I don't know what it looks like for you guys. Some of you had to work at home and you didn't work at home before, and try to manage and juggle, there's that word again, pivot from being someone that left the home 40 hours a week to working inside the home and now having your kids at home with you, trying to find creative ways to make it all work. And if you're like us, that's difficult because we live in a townhome that's not very large at all.
We're on
like
top
small
of each
living.
other,
So
literally.
it's been a fun time,
Yes.
but that's another story. So anyway, go ahead.
So we'd love to hear your stories.
Yes, tell us yours.
The way we go about it is when a challenge is, or we foresee a challenge, or we're forced to take on the challenge at that
Force a lot
moment.
of people, yeah.
We do talk about our options. Always think about
Yep.
2 or 3
That's good.
options. Talk about the pros and cons. My thing is, if it's a short-term solution, you have to ask yourself why. Why is it just a short-term solution?
Right.
Why can't it be a long-term one? Does a short-term solution, evolve into a long-term one? So that really when you do that pivot, that's the word, that it really is setting you on a course that is long-term.
Yeah, that's good. Good advice, honey. I like it.
So we'd love to hear your stories.
Yes.
Comment below. Be part of the conversation. And remember, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results.
That's true. That's good.
Yeah.
Good advice. Drop us your stories in the comments, like what
Yes.
you've gone through, where you've had to pivot, and how that affected you.
Yeah, we'd love to start lining up guests.
Yep.
So
All right.
if you want to be one, please let us know.
We'll see you on our next episode. It'll be episode 7.
Yes. Bye.
Bye, guys.